one of the things I do know about the Koch brothers is one of them ran as president on the Libertarian ticket, and he actually ran against Reagan and whoever Reagan ran against at the time. I don't know if it was the Reagan once or Reagan twice, and like they decided after that they decided to change tactics and just start funding the Republican Party. And I think one of the Koch brothers do a lot better is local politics instead of national politics. Because if you look at local politics, their number one donors are the Koch brothers. If you look at national politics and you put in Obama, like the big guys, the guys that I'm talking about, Citigroup, all of them, they're the number one donor.
America.
Yeah, they're the number one donors to both sides.
Absolutely, you're correct.
But won't you equate David Koch to the likes of the robber barons of yore, like Edward Carnegie, Nelson Rockefeller? They actually put their own president in power.
Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson. They also, yeah.
Federal Reserve Act.
Yes, but how is that any different? Except they're doing it more on a state level as opposed to the federal level. How's it any different?
Look, I'm not saying they're good guys. I'm just saying that the what you call it, the big banks run the Federal Reserve and they run the government. Like, it just seems like we're focusing on them because they have a face and they're more partisan and they fit better in.
They're no different. Yeah,
but they fit better in the parameters of our current debate of left versus right and all that. It's like George Soros.
It's not so much just left versus right. I mean, I think America should fucking go after the Forbes 400 list with great animosity. These people happen to just be on the list and happen to be one of the wealthiest families in existence.
And they fund a lot of things. And they're very they have their hands in a lot of pockets and they rub people the wrong way. I'm just saying that we're focused. It always seems like we're focusing on them, and yes, they're bad guys.
Bill Gates does the same shit.
Yeah, there we go. Bill Gates.
Well, I just don't get that impression because I guess with the work that I do, I'm always it's like picking through a bucket of these people to mess with. I mean, this week it was a choice between do I talk about the Koch brothers or do I talk about Monsanto? And I don't think it matters that it's a name. You can still cling to a company and find out who runs that company, and I do. It just takes a little bit of research. So whether it's the Koch brothers or Monsanto or
J.P. Morgan or
J.P. Morgan,
but I'm saying it's Monsanto.
Citibank.
It's Monsanto and the Koch brother. But the Koch brothers they're two brothers. I'm talking like Blank Find or
and they bring it on themselves.
Jamie Dimon.
These
we never
people
talked Jamie
evil.
Dimon.
These people are evil. They have no conscience. These people are evil. They have no conscience. They fund things like echo groups. They fund a whole bunch of people to go on television and do things like destroy the future of Social Security by spreading lies that we need to fund the retirement age because Social Security is going bankrupt when actually Social Security is at a $2 trillion surplus right now. They're still trying to push it on people that Social Security is going bankrupt, and that Social Security should be privatized, and the retirement age needs to be raised to 70. And the Koch brothers and all other companies, all of the 400 richest people in America, the corruption between them is not compartmentalized, because one of the things that struck me was how many pots these Koch brothers have their hands in, whether it be the Tea Party, the pipeline, voter ID laws, destroying education, destroying Social Security. These are endeavors that they are working with other people in order to accomplish, other people like them. This is not just them. Daniel, what do you have to say?
Well, you forgot they also give money to universities to basically reduce the amount of teachings in climatology and that to further the belief that global warming is a myth. But it's not that we're making out the Koch brothers to be a straw man, Sean. I'm right there with you. It's just that they're just this week's asshole.
Right.
That's just what it is. They're just this week's asshole. They're the asshole of the week. I'm sure next week we'll get around to Bill Gates.
I know, but I'm saying
get around to him.
I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, that they're good or anything like that. I'm just saying it's them by name, and then everybody else is by company. And to me, that's done.
Well, that's
for
their fault because they named their company after themselves.
I'll go to the Forbes 400 list. We'll go to 400. Every single one of the motherfuckers. We'll go through it.
But also, they also do something that they also fund universities for a second reason. This reason I actually agree with is they actually give money to the economics department, which has not that much to do with them, and they try and fund alternatives to Keynesian economic theory. I think that's perfectly fine. If that's what they want to do, then I think that's perfectly okay. And a lot of people do that, Lo. Because a lot of people, when they donate money to a university, they want something taught or a museum built or whatever. Like them funding the science in the university, that seems like conflict of interest, but them funding like an economics or whatever, that's like, to me that's perfectly fine.
That to me also seems like a kind of a conflict of interest because they're pushing a particular side of a particular kind of economic theory.